contract. So that is kairos. So surviving your season, when we talk about seasons, I'll be dwelling more on kairos, because that one does not just come anytime. It's something that it's an opportune time. It's something that it has to take. After a while it happens. So for several of us, what we call season in this context is that particular time for you that is not just every day. It's spectacular for you because something exact happened at that particular time. So I'll be moving very swiftly. These things are from Greek words. In case you are wondering, if you check your dictionary, will you see kairos, will you see chronos? You could see there, but it's from a Greek origin. Chronos, kairos, and so on. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I'll use an example of a pregnant woman. For a pregnant woman, a period of 9 months is the chronos, is the time that it takes, the general time it takes to carry a baby to term. But her kairos is that particular 9th month, her EDD, that's her expected day of delivery. In fact, the particular day that she gives birth to that baby is what is called her kairos. So at that particular day, it's as though it's the sum total of everything that has been happening. It's as though that's the peak of that experience, of that process of carrying that baby for 9 months. Are we together?
Yeah.
So without wasting more time, we'll be looking at factors, things that we should do as we look forward to our season. Everyone has a season. Everyone has something that he's looking forward to. There are two categories of people when it comes to chronos time. When it comes to kairos time, rather, there are kairos times that are just opportunities that just happen. While there are other kairos moments that you look forward to. Okay, for instance, if someone that is to be ordained into ministry, for example, maybe you've been told that going by the calendar, going by school of ministry that you've been at, okay, that let's say 25th of March, you'll be ordained a minister. For such a person, his kairos is on that 25th. Okay, another example, those of us that are in university, those of us that are in high institution, you got admission into school, you did your matriculation, and then you began studying year 1, year 2, first semester, second semester. It gets to a point where you're looking forward to graduation. Whoever enters into school is looking forward to when he or she is going to graduate. So for you, 2022, for instance, 2025, 2026 is your expected year of graduation. So for you, that particular month is kairos for you. For some others, there can be kairoses that are unexpected. Those ones you know it's going to happen, but you cannot exactly place the date, the time, or the moment where it's going to meet you. So it could either be expected or unexpected. So I'll be talking about, let's look at both sides. I just hope that time is going to permit us. We'll look at both sides. Unexpected kairoses, expected kairoses, the one that you know that this particular thing is going to happen in future. What sort of man ought you to be when you know that, okay, you're looking forward to this thing? How can I maximize my time? How can I build in such a way that I know that I'm going to actually get to that finishing point? From the Bible, there's a scripture that says that when we look forward to something, there is an expected end. Scripture calls it an expected end. So how do I build myself? How do I, put 2 and 2 together to ensure that I get to that place? So that's what we're going to be looking at now in the next few minutes. One of the very major things you should pay attention to when you're looking forward to your kairos season is preparedness. If you're with a book and a jotter, preparedness. Several of us are in different spheres. Some of us are students, some of us are business people, some of us are into ministry, some of us are civil servants, some of us are into business. When you're looking forward to a season that is to come, how should you prepare towards that? How should you prepare as regards that particular place God is taking you to? It could be a business opportunity. It could be school. In fact, it could be that you even want to get admission into school. For you, that is a kairos. So how do you prepare towards that line? One of the first things you should do, what I have first on my list here, is knowledge. It's knowledge. The place of knowledge cannot be overemphasized. What my father in the Lord used to talk about, he says the first price you should pay for wherever it is that God is taking you to, for whatever it is that God will place in your hands, be it business, be it a job, you have to gain relevant and sufficient knowledge in that field. You're hoping to start a company by okay, let's say you're saying at 25 I should start a company. You're saying that okay, at this stage of my life I want to work in a bank. At this stage of my life I want to open an NGO. Bro, you have to get relevant knowledge in that field. You won't scale, you will not be successful if you're not a person that is hungry for knowledge. If you're not a person that search knowledge, that look for knowledge, that go for knowledge, you just continually be mediocre. And believe me, when the opportune time comes, when the particular time, when it's for that particular thing comes, you will just be so unready. And actually, the opportunity might slip out of your fingers. But when we say get knowledge, for that field that you're looking for, you want to study medicine in school, you want to do this, you go, begin to make research, you begin to ask, okay, this particular thing, what is it that it takes to go for this? Beyond just making wishes, random wishes, I want this, I want the other one. If you want to make it a reality, if you're going to be someone that is not going to appear unready on the day that it matters, then you should go for sufficient knowledge. You should go for relevant knowledge. You're talking of medicine, then go for it. Ask questions. How do I go about this? How do I go about this? The next thing on my list is books. It's in line with the first point that I just mentioned. If you are going to get knowledge, you get these things in books. You get it from magazines. You get it from textbooks. You get it from Wikipedia, online. Thank God for the generation we are in now. It's as though there's nothing that you actually want to outsource knowledge for that you will not be able to. You have your phones, you have your cell phones, you have your laptop, you have your tablet, where you can go, you search Google, you ask, okay, what is this particular thing? Medicine and surgery. What does it take to get to this point? For you, that is going to be a kairos. And how do you prepare towards it? Knowledge. You get these things from books, you get it from you get it online, you get it from magazines, you get it from YouTube. Most of all, YouTube is not overrated as some people say. I'm yet to see what it is that you want that you're not going to find in YouTube. I mean, let your mind go wild. How to study my book. Let's assume you're a person that is having a particular challenge. Maybe you're reading his or her book, you're a student, for instance, and you're having issues with your book. I mean, go and ask Google. Google will tell you how you should study your book. Google will tell you how to cook a goosey soup. Google will tell you how to wear your shoes the right way. Google will tell you how to pat your hair. Google will tell you the right makeup for your skin. That's Google. YouTube too. YouTube will show you how to do these things, videos, practical ways to do it, podcasts and many things. I mean, we have knowledge at our disposal if we actually want to get better and if we actually want to get prepared for our seasons. Are we together? That's two. Another thing I have on my list on ways to prepare for seasons is trainings. The first one I talked about is knowledge, and we talked about knowledge from books, and then now the next thing is attending training. For crying out loud, there are people that has gone ahead in these fields that we want to venture into. I understand that I'm speaking to young people. I understand that I'm speaking to people that are very creative, that want to start up things. We are in Cedtalk now, and this is already a platform where speakers come to speak, and we gain insight from topics that come our way. So imagine if this kind of place doesn't exist. Most people will not get knowledge on some matters, and so this knowledge is now if you continue to attend trainings like this and attend trainings that are like this one, or attend seminars, attend webinars online, offline, you gain more experience, you gain more understanding, you're enlightened to face several other situations when they come your way. But if you don't attend trainings, if you just stay, opportunities is going to come and you miss it. Imagine some of us that want to go into forex, for instance, or maybe cryptocurrency, crypto trading. We talk of you come online, you see trainings here and there from people that are experienced in the field. Imagine you don't go, you don't read about it, you don't even try to access knowledge from anywhere. You fail. Say coins are going to come out and they'll be like, okay, do you want to buy this particular coin? How about investing in this coin? You don't know anything about it, and so you just miss the opportunity unprepared. So attending trainings, it cannot be overemphasized. Then mentorship. This one is very, 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 very important. If you're going to venture into any field, if you're going to remember we are talking about prepared kairoses that you know that you are going to face. Now imagine you know that you actually want to go into business. For instance, there's something called mentorship, very, very rampant around us. We see very big businesses around us. We see men that are CEOs of companies. What they do is they have apprentices. They call it boy. So what do they do to those people? It's as though they lead them by the hand and they show them, okay, this is this business that you're interested in. This is the do's and don'ts. This is the pros and the cons. These are the things that you need to do. These are places that we buy. This is how we sell. For that man that wants to venture into a motor parts business tomorrow, for that young man that wants to venture into motor parts business tomorrow, he already has seen his master and he's already preparing himself for that particular time he's going to start his own. That is a kairos for him. That is a season for him. So if he's even going to get prepared for that, he enrolls under a master, he begins to learn. He goes, lives with his master, his master teaches him this, teaches him that, and several other things. That way he gets prepared for what he's about to meet. So that is a season for him, and this is how you prepare. Are we together? Another one is personal development. All these things I mentioned are part of already what we are talking about. Another level of personal development is education. Imagine you want to be a CEO of a top company tomorrow, or you want to be a bank manager. No, let your mind go wild. That thing that you want to be, you have to be educated. And a literate man and an illiterate man that goes into business is not the same. The returns cannot be the same. When a man that is educated and maybe, let's assume, studies economics in the university, or studies business administration, or studies finance and account, or something of that nature, when their attitude towards business is not the same as someone that is uneducated. So the role of education, the place of education and literacy cannot be overemphasized. So for the season that is ahead of you, these are the things that will make you ready to meet them. For the seasons that are ahead of you, these are the things that will make you ready to meet them. Are we together? Imagine you're looking at, like, I'll use the previous example I used. You want to let's say become a bank manager. Of course, these days, if you've been accustomed with human resource personnel in places that they look for employment, you are preferred according to the qualification that you have. The preference they will give to someone that has a PhD, for example, it's not the same preference they will give to someone that just has a BSc. Let's assume that is the season. We have several seasons in our life, but let's assume that's the particular season that is, that we are talking about now. Let's assume for you, the season of job, the season of career for you. If you're looking at, okay, I'm going to become this, you prepare towards this. When it gets to that point, a person that is more qualified is going to be preferred more than you. So you knowing that you want to venture into that field, what do you do at this point? You already have a goal. Okay, this is what I'm to do. I want to get to this peak of my career. I want to get to this point. I want to get to this point. Beyond just, it's not someone that should coerce you to go and get your jam, to go and apply for jam and then begin. You do your BSc, you go for your masters, you go for your PhD. Let's say you want to go to the banking and sector industry, you go for ICANN, you get these trainings, you get them, you get certified in this area. When you go for online courses, you get certified in this area, you go for courses that are related. That way you are preparing for seasons that are ahead of you. Are we together? Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, I'll just read that. If you're there, you can also read for me. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. It begins to say, for everything, who is there? Okay, it says, are we there? To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to born, a time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time of peace. What profit has he that worketh in that wherein he laboureth? So, this particular scripture is drawing our mind to the fact that there is time for everything. In other words, there is a season for everything. There's a season to do this, there's a season to plant, and there's a season to harvest. Imagine you're looking forward to your season of harvest and you've not taken judicious time to plant. Now, I do you want to do magic? Are you Gandalf? So this more like sums of all I've been saying. There is a time for everything. For you, there is a season for that particular thing that you're looking forward to. Life is all about give and take. Life is about what you sow is what you're going to reap. All things being equal. You're going to look at particular things that can affect your sowing season, particular thing that can affect your chronos season. Is your chronos when it has reached, when it has gotten to its full term, that it becomes kairos. So these are things that you should invest in, things that you should invest in to ensure that when it's time for your harvest, you would gain abundance, you will get abundance from your harvest. Are we together? So when we're in our season of harvest, let's assume you've taken time to go through all this periphery. You've taken time to go through your season of preparedness. You've taken time to go for knowledge. You've taken time to study books. You've taken time to go through your education. You've taken time to get every necessary qualification you need for the particular place you're going to. Let's assume you've done all this. When it comes to your kairos season, what sort of man ought you to be? At your kairos season, if you've automatically gone through these stages, you will find out that at the particular time it matters, you will be ready. You will face that particular thing head on. You will face it with readiness. You will face it like someone that has gotten to, they say that scripture began speaking and it speaks about a man or a woman that has gotten to a stage of giving birth and gives birth to air or doesn't have strength to push. When it comes to you and when you've prepared long enough, you will find out that when you come to your Kairos season, when you come to that season, you will make the most out of it. Vusi Tembekwayo is a public speaker. He made a profound statement one time, and he said that life is in cycles, that time is not linear. Time, rather, is cyclical. You know, linear, what is linear is something that goes like this, that is straightforward. He says that time is cyclical. I began to ponder on that particular statement, and I found out that it's true. You know, I said we go from the known to the unknown. Taking instance from what I said earlier about the seasons that we have, with the spring, the summer, the autumn, also called fall, and then winter. We notice that these are things that go this way, every year. Is as though after spring you see summer, after summer you see autumn, after autumn you see winter, after winter you see spring, after spring you see summer. You know, like that. It's cyclical. And if you also check it, if you check your life, okay, for in Nigeria, we are after the Harmattan, immediately you are going to see heat period. That way, if it continues, something that is that is rotational. Now, if you also check in your life, you will notice that it's as though that there are particular seasons for you. There are particular seasons for you. It's as though if you there are seasons where at one point he began recalling, it's as though there are seasons where it's as though there are levels of failure seasons in his life. There are times when he notices surge in business and progresses. He notices surge in wins. You notice that, okay, at this particular time, it's as if there have been track record of successes at this particular time. For some of us, even when it comes to spiritual engagement, we can notice that it's as though whenever I come to this particular season, maybe let's say October, November, it's as if at this most time during this season, it's as though there is more demand for fasting, there are more demands for study. At this particular season, I'm to enter into something new, I'm to enter into another reality in God. And if you notice, there are particular seasons in your life, if you take track record, that there might be failure, that there might be higher warfare in your life. For some people, it's towards their birthday. For some people, I know these things are better experienced than just explained with mouth. There are seasons, so these things are cyclical. So this is more like giving hope to people that has missed some seasons. For you that might have missed a season of your life, for you that maybe when it got to your time of jam, since most of us are young people, we can relate more to this. For someone that wants to get into higher institutions to study medicine and surgery, for instance, and okay, your chronos time has been the whole time it takes you to prepare for jam, for instance. So when it gets to your time of jam, you write the exam and you find out that you came out with a very low score. You're looking forward to, let's say, 380, or no, 280 to 300, and throughout your chronos period was when you had to take time to get ready for your exams. Maybe you notice that when it came to that Kairos time, your jammed exam date, you write, and when you want to take record of how it has been, your result comes out and it's very low. For such a person, he can be referred to that man that had a failed Kairos. I want us to understand it in this scenario. And so if you don't make the most out of your Kairos season, you will notice that it's as though you'll be returned back to square one. It's as though there's going to be a retrogression where you have to pass through that cycle again. You have to pass through another chronos before you get to another Kairos. You have to pass through another chronos. So if you don't pass it, it's as though there's going to be a repeat. So for you that have had a bad season, for you that have had a bad Kairos, there is hope. Some of them can be very fatal that you will not gain that opportunity ever again. There is something such as that. If I don't mention this part, then that's not the whole truth. Because there are seasons where you will not get that opportunity ever again. So if you don't make the most out of that one, and these ones are majorly, some of the time they are unplanned Kairos, where let's assume you've just been meaning to, you want to go into tech, and somehow Bill Gates is coming into town, and maybe you go for those conferences, or somehow just get to your area. Now, those are times when, okay, a kairos can even be when you're in a particular hall, and let's assume a top person in your field or the field you want to venture into ask a question. That can be a kairos. And if you're a person that is fully prepared in that situation, you get the answer, and you can be given a scholarship from there, you can be given an endorsement, you can be given that's a kairos for you. And so if you miss that, that can be a one in a lifetime kind of kairos. That can be a one in a lifetime kind of season. So if you miss it, it's as though, okay, there might not be opportunity for some, but for some other one, for some other seasons, it will come again. It will come again. So when you have the understanding that, okay, I might have this opportunity again. For some opportunities, for some seasons, it can come two in your lifetime. It can come three. It can come as long as you're willing to keep getting delayed on that particular path. So if there is hope, that's what I'm telling someone today in this hall. There is hope for you. If you've missed a particular season, I know that there might be delays, there might be setbacks, there might be delays, but that which will come will come. I'll read from the Bible again. Habakkuk chapter 2, from verse 2. Are we there? I'll just read. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So this is talking about someone that is looking forward to something. He said, write the vision. These are part of the things that can keep you going when it's as though you've missed a particular season. If you're going to survive a season, part of what you ensure is in place is writing down those that are, if you want to take track record of survivors, there is something that these people know that we don't know. There are people that have passed through several seasons of their life, and you wonder, how is this person doing this particular thing? There have been ups and downs in their life. There are times when they are on the low. There are times when it's as though they've passed through hell. They are passing through the eyes of a needle at that season of their life. How do they survive? Part of what for you that might be going through a season, or is looking as though you've missed a particular season, or you're currently in a season, how do you pass through it? You should be someone that writes down visions. You write down goals. You write down what it is that you plan to achieve. Some of the times when it's as though all chips are down, part of the things that is going to encourage you or keep you going in those seasons are going back to revisit those things that have been said about you. You want to open a company and it's as though you're on the low. Go back, check what has happened. Count your blessings. There are times when you were high. What are the things that you did at those times? What have God promised you? What is the goal you're working with? The successes that you've recorded. You want to be a top business owner. Okay, what has been said about your business? What is the goal you want to achieve? When you look at these things, there is a way that it pumps steroids into your blood. You get up again and you be like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go for this. And you see yourself working towards that particular thing. This is one way to survive your seasons. Write it down. This is what Habakkuk told us. He said, that you that have a vision, make it plain. Write it down. That he that is moving will see it and go for it. There's something about writing down. If you're going to be someone that will survive your seasons, if you're going to be someone that is going to make full proof of your career season, you must be someone that understands journaling. Write it down. Go back, revisit it. It could be what God has said about your life. If you're into ministry, it could be prophecies. Write it down. Say, okay, God has told me that at age this, I'm going to be, let's say, the president of Nigeria. God has said that if I follow through this particular process at this season of my life, at my kairos at 25, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go do that. There are times when you begin to disbelieve. There are times that you'll be like, okay, this particular thing that God has said, will it come to pass? Go back to what God has said. Go back to where you have written it down, and you'll see that those things will more like bring encouragement, will bring succor to you, and then that way you'll be a conqueror. Because even when I was considering this particular topic, I was like, surviving your seasons. Beyond just surviving your seasons, you can be an overcomer. You can be someone that will continue, that will, yes, time upon time, time again and time again. When you get to certain kairos of your life, you will be an overcomer in all of them. Are we together? So prepare, journal, you read seasons. First Chronicles chapter 12 verse 32, he began talking about the men of Issachar that understand times. He says there are men of Issachar that understand times and seasons and what Israel ought to do. Part of what will help you also is, so my time is up already. But I would just want to leave us with this. We talked about part of what is going to help you to make the most out of your kairos season. And then for you that has lost seasons, you that are currently in a particular season of your life, I want you to know this. There's a place of mercy, there's a place of God's help when it comes to your seasons. I know that there is a place of preparedness. We are told to get ready. Yes, you should be ready, you should be prepared for whatever it is that you want to achieve. You should be prepared for that kairos that you are looking forward to. Beyond preparation. Now, when you are prepared, when you have done what you're supposed to do, when you've gained the requisite skill, you've gained the requisite experience, you've gained a measure of preparedness towards that particular season that you are looking forward to. And there are times when life just happens. You could be looking at many things, but there is a place of mercy. There is a place of God's help. There are people that have prepared several things, but then it's as though, this is what they call village people. It's actually true. There are times when negative forces will come and combat that particular thing that you're trying to do. If God has said, I've promised you about something about your life, just know that the enemy is not going to fold his hands and allow you just stroll into success. The enemy will not fold his hands and allow you to just walk into greatness. If you will walk into greatness, you will pay prices and you will